and it runs beautifully. Well, welcome back to Living with a Classic. We're here with the right hand to left hand drive XJS. Lots of work have actually been going on with it, but I decided, you know what, let's start filming it again. So I'm going to show you what's been going on, and the goal by the end of this film is to have it running again after going through everything we've gone through with the engine, all new gaskets, all of that, to have it basically up and running again, moving on its own power in the next couple of weeks, hopefully back on the road. So you know, this is my friend Dan, the body guy, painter guy. So we've done, you know, like a bit of a swap. I'm doing this to his car, and he is doing my XJS. So my XJS is in his workshop now, getting finished, and we've both been really busy. I've started, you know, my own company working on customer cars, and he's done the same thing, done a lot more customer cars, and actually doing that full time. So that's why, if you wondered why it's been a long time with my XJS and his, we've both been busy, but we've communicated with each other and talked about it, and it's been okay. But said in November, we're going to try and have both cars done and swap them back. So you're going to see my XJS back in a little bit as well. Let me show you what's been going on here. And like we said, all of this has been done before on the channel, so it won't be super detailed, but a lot of things have been done. I think in the next hour or so, the coolant system is going to be done on this thing, and then we have fuel system and a couple other things to run some brake lines. But I think in the next day or so, this thing can actually fire up and run under its own power, which I think will be really exciting to hear again. So here we go, just in the middle of everything. I just put the radiator in. It's just sitting here. Let me see, I connected up the bottom hose to it right there. It's still loose in case I need to move it a little bit. We have the fan shroud in. We have a new fan. The yellow one is out, it was cracked, so we have a new black one in. I've cleaned up everything down here. I'm going to put the AC condenser back in. I need to run two new lines there for the automatic transmission cooler that goes into radiator. So I'm going to run those. We have all new belts on there. We have a new water pump as well, and cleaned up the front of the engine. I've also painted the crossover pipe, and that's back on with new hoses. I've had the external water rails off, thermostat housing. We have new thermostats in, of course. Let me see here with the light for you guys. And the new seals in here, and new gaskets over there. So everything really in the coolant system is new. So I'm just going to put this together. I'll put in new AC O-rings everywhere. Put this top cover back on. Top hoses. And then after that, I think I'm going to do the rear hoses on it. And then it's the AC compressor. Need to do HT leads, all of that. And then the fuel rail needs to go back on. That needs to be rebuilt as well with new hoses. So yeah, quite a bit to do. But you guys will see it pretty soon together. I'll update you guys along the way, and then hopefully really soon we can hear this thing fire into life again. Condenser is in, radiator top support is in, and there's one thing that I'm not sure we've talked about this before. You have this banjo bolt here. This is basically just to get all the air out of the radiator. They're often plugged. You see that? Hole in here gets plugged too. I blew that out when I flushed the radiator outside, but that's supposed to be a banjo bolt. So I'm going to clear that out, blow through it, put that together. Then I haven't decided yet what I'm going to move on to. I think I may replace those lines up here. Then I think we're going to put part of the ignition system together, at least put some of the wires together for the first 4 spark plugs, put the AC compressor in, get the last belt going, and yeah, I don't know, I haven't really made up my mind, but we'll see what happens. We have a lot of things left to do. I'm going to finish a couple more things while the car is sort of up in the air like this, then I'm going to lower it down and do a lot of things in the middle of the engine, because it's a little bit too high to do that at the moment. But I want to finish a couple things up front here before we do that. A lot of progress has been made. AC compressor is back on. Just need to slip the belt on there. I have mounted some things on here because, you know, I'm doing the conversion at the same time. Master cylinder's in, and this is the right hand one, so the ports on it are on this side instead of that side. So that's why I put the air filter box on, just to see. But yeah, there will be enough space to run new brake lines. Back to here, I have removed this. I was gluing this last night, just glued in this grommet here. So I've had the distributor part and lubricated. It's all nicely set up now. I have all new spark plugs in. I have new HT leads on their way in. So I'm going to put the rotor, the cap on. That's all new, of course. Connect up the HT leads. Once that is done, we can do some of the electrics back here. Just connect these things back up. And then I have rebuilt the fuel rail. You'll see that in a separate video. That can go back on. Other than that, to get it back up and running, it is mounting the fan shroud. It's just loose in there. It is the top hoses of the radiator, and yeah, just a couple of fuel lines. So we're getting pretty close to starting this thing up. It's a few days later. A lot of progress has been made. You've probably seen on the channel, I made a video on doing the fuel rail. Now it's from this car. So the fuel rail's in place. All the ignition components and things. Well, I'll bring you in for a closer look. So there's really just a couple of coolant hoses left to do, other small things, and now I need to do some electrics in the car. And I think we actually hook up a battery and see if anything happens. But let me show you what's been going on, story behind the scenes. I don't remember exactly where we were in the last update, but the AC compressor is in. The belt's just lying there. I'm going to put that on. We have, of course, all new plugs in from before. We have the HC leads, cap rotor, gone through the distributor. The whole fuel injection system is on there. New hoses. Got one hose left to do over here. Just put on the ignition box here. Connected all that up. I have, you know, a couple clamps and things to do down here. I'm working on the brake system because this is a conversion from right hand to left hand drive. So I've made one new brake line. Need to make one more. Not sure I'll do that now. We'll do that after things fired up. We'll see about that. I've run some new vacuum lines, things like that. We have the loom here that needs to go down to temperature sensor down there for electric fan. Connect all that up. We have top hoses to do here. We have one hose to do down there. That is this one I'm working on right now. Top hose on the other side. We have AC lines to connect it up. Really not necessary to start it up, but at least I want to connect it up so it's not flopping around. Other than that, in here, I think it's the inertia switch left to do. And I'm just going to plug in the instruments. And I think we're pretty good. I have the battery for it on a tender at the moment. That should be nice and fully charged by the time I'm ready to start it up. So that will be probably today or maybe tomorrow. We have the accelerator cable here ready to connect up. Yeah, lots of things going on, but I'm just going to continue. Yeah, I don't know where, but I'll update you guys as soon as we have some more things connected up. Right now it's just, you know, hours of putting hoses and hose clamps on, then checking things. I need to fill up the power steering. I may do that now before that is on, just to make it easier. So yeah, lots going on, but we're really close now. Lots of hours later, and I think we're pretty ready just to see if it fires up. If it does, I'm not going to run it for long. I really just want to see if it has any life, and that sort of is a good motivation to continue. What's left to do is connect up the air filter housing on this side, so that sensor for the intake air temperature is connected, otherwise they run pretty rich. We need to pressurize the fuel system, check if we have any leaks. I'm going to put some coolant in it. Not that I'm running it for long at all. I mean, maybe 10 seconds, but I just don't want the water pump to run dry. Other than that, the only thing I've done is I've connected up the battery for a little bit, and I just checked that, yes, I did have the fuel pump turn on, and yes, I just bumped the starter. That works. So lots of things left to do in there. including getting the instruments in there, but then the steering wheel needs to get off again, and lots of things like that. But I just think it would be really nice just to see if it starts up. I've moved the other cars out of here and I towed it up here just in case something were to happen. I can quickly sort of get out of here. At least that's what I hope. I do have big fire extinguishers and all of that. But I'm trying to think if, yeah, I think I've gotten everything. I'm going to add some coolant and then we'll just see if this thing bursts into life. I've also fixed the throttle pedal because it was my fault. I put this thing together incorrectly. So now it was binding before, but now that's working as it should. But yeah, let's add coolant, see if this thing fires up. Just adding the last bit. It's a little bit more than halfway full of coolant. But for what I'm doing now, just running for 10 seconds, that's good enough. Gonna connect up the battery again. There's something wrong with the headlights. They turn on right away. So that's something we have to have a look at. Remember, this is the whole wiring harness is from a different car, so we don't actually know what's good and what's not. Could just be a relay stuck, could be something else. So I'm gonna connect up the battery, then we're gonna prime the fuel system just a few times, check for leaks. Hopefully there are none. Got a big fire extinguisher over there, and just crank it up. If it does start, just run it for a little bit. 10 seconds or so, just make sure that it runs. And then, we gotta get brakes and everything else working on it and finish up the interior. But it'd be a great milestone if this thing actually fires up for the first time with the steering wheel on the left side. I primed the fuel system a couple times, checked for leaks. Seems fine. As you notice, the lights are on all the time. Don't really know why. That's something we have to figure out later. But I think we just need to hit the key and see what happens. Sure, it was in every cylinder, needed to get revved out, but it does work. It does fire her up with a complete different wiring harness on a completely different side of the car, with all the injectors gone through, with everything. It fired into life. I know, it's not much, but this is a lot of work getting all this working and actually firing up on the key. I'm quite excited. Can't wait for next time where I'm going to fix the brakes and some things and we take the thing for the first drive, see if we can do something about the headlight issue. But how about that? The right-hand drive to left-hand drive XJS actually fires up. It does run, and next time it should drive under its own power. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Till next time, I'm Adam. This is Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon. Probably can't just end the video there. I fired it up one more time and it runs beautifully. Alright, I'm gonna shut it down. I've opened up the garage door, get some fans going, let's air this out. But it does run.